4. It says triangle A has a base of 12 and a height of 6. Triangle A, we'll make it look like this. Has a base of 12 and a height of 6. Triangle B has a base of 16 and a height of 8. So it's a little bit bigger, okay? Base of 16 and a height of 8. This is triangle B. All right, so it wants to know, are these triangles similar? So in order to be similar, we need to make a proportion. Okay, we can make a proportion from triangle A to triangle B. So we take this side length of 6 and we can put it over 12. Okay, our proportion, remember, they look like this. Might kind of, jog your memory a little bit. So we have 6 over 12 and then 8 over 16. So remember, to see if they're similar, we just have to divide this, put this in our calculator, 6 divided by 12, divide this, 8 divided by 16, and we'll see if the numbers are the same. If they're the same, then it is similar. If they're not the exact, it's got to be the exact same. If they're not the exact same, then it's not. So if I do 6 divided by 12, I'll put it in your calculator. If you don't know it in your head, that is a 2 equals 8 divided by 16. If you don't know it, put it in your calculator. That is also 2. So these numbers are the exact same. So that means that these are similar figures, similar triangles. So, yes is the answer, because it asks if they're similar triangles. So you just have, if you have yes, then that's okay. So that's how we can figure this out. If you need, so draw the picture out is very important for that problem. Okay, number 5. Number 5 says a car tire has a radius of 18 inches. What is its circumference? So a car tire, we'll just draw a circle because that's what a car tire is, has a radius of 18. Remember, the radius only goes from the center to the outside. Okay, so it wants to know the circumference. So if you don't know what to do, you don't know how to find circumference, then that's where you look on your reference chart. Okay, circumference of a circle has its own little section there. If you have the radius, then you use 2 pi r. If you don't have the radius, then you can use pi times d. So we do have the radius, so we're going to use the formula c equals 2 times pi times the radius. Okay, so c equals 2 times pi, so 3.14, and then times 18. You put this in your calculator, exactly how it looks. I use the parentheses, you can just put the times. So 2 times 3.14, and then another set of parentheses, and then times the 18. And enter, we get our circumference of 113.04. And this is in inches, so inches. That's your answer. So if you don't know circumference, you don't know how to do circumference, that's where you got to look on the formula chart to get the formula. Once you have that, you just plug in your numbers. Okay, number 6. Number 6. Does this graph depict a function? So I'm going to draw this graph really quick. Okay, it kind of like curves like this. Okay, I'm not going to draw all the lines, but that's kind of what the line looks like. It curves that way. So we need to see if it is a function. Now, if you look very carefully on your homework, where it curves, where this curves isn't exactly straight. So if like I had a straight line going like this line still only crosses that point or that X point like that in that one spot. It doesn't touch It doesn't go straight up. So it kind of curves, but it's still kind of going at a slope of that way. Okay, so it's definitely going to be a function. Still, even though it curves, just because it curves, don't think it's not a function. That's not the case. Now, even though this curves, this is still a function because it only hits at that one spot. And if I drew a bunch of lines, x-axis lines going like this, okay, this line would still only hit in one spot. So this is a function, or if you put yes, okay, is the right answer. Okay, that was number 6. Let's go look at number 7. There we go. Number 7 says, using the picture below, what is the value of x? So I got a triangle. I have 5x minus 1 here, 4x plus 6, and then 8x plus 5. Okay, so these are the angles of this triangle. And we know that all the 3 angles inside a triangle add up to one specific number, and it's a degrees. So all 3 angles inside a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So we know that we can add all these angles up, set it equal to 180 degrees, and then we can solve for x. It's going to take a little bit of work, but it's not something that's very impossible to do. So 5x minus 1 plus 4x plus 6 plus the last angle up here, 8x plus 5. And then that equals 180. So yes, this may look very overwhelming right now, but all we have to do is just combine the like terms. We're going to make it very small, and it's going to be a lot easier. So once you get this step, you just combine like terms. It's going to be a lot easier. So I have 5x. I'm going to circle all my values that have a variable attached to it. In this case, it's the x. 5x plus 4x plus 8x. Okay, and then that's it on this side. So I just combine those. 5 plus 4 plus 8. If you have to use a calculator, use the calculator. Okay. So we had 12, 17. So 17x. Now I can combine all these constants that are here on this side. So I'm going to put those in the square. I'm going to box those. The minus 1. Plus 6, and plus 5. So 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 minus 1 is 10. So it's a positive 10 because they're all positive. So plus 10 equals 180. So now that I have this, it's a lot easier to solve for. Like these are the equations that we're all pretty used to by now, hopefully. So minus 10 minus 10. Because I'm trying to get this variable by itself. 17x comes down, this d's out. 180 minus 10 equals 170. Okay, so now that I have that, it's very simple. All I do is just divide by this coefficient that's with the variable. Divide by 17, divide by 17. This makes 1. X equals 10. 170 divided by 17 is 10. So that's how I got my answer of 10. All right. 3 more, that's it for homework 6. Okay, so that's number 7.